Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump's debt, deficits, and a question. So, we're going to answer a question posed by a Republican viewer and try to sort through the information without cringing. Here's the question. Every time I listen to a Republican message sent to you, I cringe. I'm going to try to get through this without saying anything insanely stupid, just to see if you're cherry-picking the messages and looking for the dumbest possible message from conservatives. On the subject of Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, does it reduce the debt? Yes or no? This is just math and should be easy to figure out, but even Republicans can't agree on whether it will reduce the deficit. Is there a clear set of numbers? Reducing the debt is something that should be a high priority for us, but we can't seem to get a straight answer. I don't trust Republicans talking about their own bill. At the same time, I think Rand Paul is an apple that fell very, very far from the tree, so don't trust his statements either. Okay, so not exactly cringeworthy or, quote, insanely stupid, but you seem to be using debt and deficit interchangeably. Don't feel bad. Republican politicians do that too. They aren't the same thing. Think of it like a credit card. The debt is the outstanding balance. It's everything you've charged. The deficit is how much you charge extra each month, which in turn adds to the debt. Does the one big bloated bill cut the debt? No. Period. Full stop. There is no situation, no alternative math, no half-baked tariff revenue projection that can realistically say it will cut the debt. Never. Not happening. The bill will add to the debt. There is nothing even suggesting it won't. When you hear that said, it's said by people who are either intentionally or accidentally conflating debt and deficit. It will not reduce the debt. Of all the things that won't happen, this won't happen the most. I think I was clear enough about that. Will it reduce the deficit? You want numbers that aren't skewed and don't come from Rand Paul. Fair enough. He's exceeded the number of times you can expect a broken clock to be right in your eyes. Okay, so you want something nonpartisan. There are two good sources. The Congressional Budget Office is the official scorekeeper of Congress. If you want something unconnected to the government, you want a single-issue group that looks at everybody's proposals objectively. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget is probably your best source. They calculate deficit spending constantly. Both sources say it will increase the deficit, not lower it, which again means there is zero chance of reducing the debt. They both say Trump will be charging more to the credit card, not less. The CBO estimates have been around 2 to 3 trillion more in deficit spending over the next 10 years. $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there. Pretty soon, you're talking about real money. I have yet to see any real estimate that says it will increase the deficit by any less than $1 trillion. What about the other source? The senior VP for the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget said, quote, "The bill is certainly not the largest deficit reduction in nearly 30 years. It's not deficit reduction at all." Their most recent estimate over the increase in deficit was more than $3 trillion over the 10 years. Again, them charging $3 trillion more. So the normal amount of charging plus an additional $3 trillion. As far as Rand Paul, he said, quote, "The way you add it up to see if it actually is going to save money or add money is how much debt are they going to borrow. $5 trillion over 2 years, enormous amount." His number is so much higher because his figure would include interest and normal charging to the government's credit card. But it's also only for 2 years. It doesn't shrink the deficit, and it certainly doesn't shrink the debt. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.